All right, on Blitz, we have Coach Michael Davis of the Rabun County Wildcats. Coach, always appreciate getting to come up here and talk Rabun County football. I want to have your thoughts and feelings taking over this Rabun County program last year and then year two. What do you feel like the biggest adjustments have been in the program?
Well, I think the biggest thing was just the kids getting to know the new coaching staff. We pretty much had a whole new coaching staff, except for I'd been here 1 year prior. Coach Holcomb had been here a little while. Everybody else is new. The kids just kind of getting used to how we did things, but there's a few things that we're doing different from the previous staff. But overall, we kept everything the same. Just the main things in the weight room, and our kids, getting after it and doing some different stuff in the weight room, and then of course how we practice.
Yeah, and that's one thing I was going to ask is the conditioning is always a key focal point for this team and pivotal to the success. Talk about some of the things that this team's been doing leading up to the season and trying to be able to keep these guys fresh as you have a tough schedule ahead too.
Yeah, we do. As we play a lot of kids both ways. We try to. My philosophy's always been that we're going to try to have our offensive line, defensive line are going to be on one side of the ball with guys that roll in some, and then our skill guys we just have to share and use. But basically, we've just been training since last offseason. We've done a lot of speed work. A lot of extra conditioning, a lot of stuff. Everything that we do in the weight rooms is fast-paced, up-tempo. There's no walking around. Everything's with a purpose and with a sense of urgency, kind of like we play on Friday nights. You go with that no huddle, and that's kind of how I want it. And Coach Bagley does our weight room, and he's done a great job with that.
Yeah, now Keegan Stover was great last year as a pocket passer, but Ty Trullo finally getting his chance as QB1. And talk about the up-tempo, how does that change the way that your offense rolls? Because now you can kind of speed things up with him having that dual threat ability as well.
Yeah, Keegan was awesome. Keegan's, actually I got to watch him last night, played his first college game. He did great. But Ty's a different type quarterback, a little bit more mobile, and he does move better. Still young. He's got a lot to learn, a lot to get better. But he's got a really high ceiling. But we're able to, to go fast, and it's we're able to do it at the speed of what Ty's able to do. We don't want to overload him, even though he is special. We don't want to put too much on his plate, and so we try to limit it from week to week.
Yeah, and talk about just in general, you have a younger team because you lost just a significant amount of seniors, and every team usually does, but when you still have the high expectations, the high bar in place for this program, what is your message to those younger guys and how to deal with that pressure?
Well, it's just next man up, and it doesn't matter what grade you're in. If you're good enough to play on Friday nights, we're going to play you. And like you said, we got a sophomore quarterback, our two running backs that platoon in with each other. They're both sophomores. Our offensive line, we've got one senior up on the offensive line. And so, our skill guys the same way, we're rolling people in and out. But, our message is, man, just, if it's your turn and you get called on, you got to do your job and do what you've been coached to do.
Yeah, and how do you deal with, the Stevens County? You don't want to dwell on it too much, but I imagine there's a lesson somewhere in there what was kind of your message to the guys and being able to put that game behind them, but also learn from that and move forward?
Well, I guess the biggest thing was just, after that game, I told them, that game didn't define us. I mean, it didn't change any of our goals, anything that we want to do. Yes, we want to win every Friday night, but it didn't define us. But what would define us is how we practice the next week, how we came out on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to prepare for Adairsville. And I thought we had a really, really good week of practice. And then it showed because we played really good on Friday night. Like I said, you can't get so hung up on losing that game early. We're very, very good opponents. Stevens, you can't take anything away from them. But we just got to move forward and just have amnesia and move on to the next game.
Yeah, in general, talk about your defense. What do you like so far that you've seen out of them? Because in both of the wins, they've been kind of setting the tone for you guys and what you do offensively.
Well,
too.
I think our defense, like a lot of guys, they've got a lot of new faces. They've had 8 new starters over there, or 8 guys that they've only basically played 3 varsity games. So they're getting better every week. I think Paul Bisciotti at our outside linebacker, what we call our dog position, I think he's playing tremendous. Jarrett Giles is a 3-year starter in the back end of the secondary. Willie Goodwin. I mean, everybody knows about Willie and everything he brings. And he's one of the best athletes in the state of Georgia. I think all those guys, and then we got some young linebackers. We got some defensive linemen. This is the first time they're playing. They're getting better. Kelton Luttrell, he's a new guy this year, as a senior. this first year coming out, but man, he's playing good, getting better. And then Riley Crane, our nose guard, is playing probably really, really good. Had never played him, but he's probably the strongest kid in our program. So they're just, I think each week they're going to continue to get better.
And what is the, some coaches, I don't know if you have a motto this year you're going with, or a slogan, or what the key message is for this group of guys, but what is it this year and what is the meaning behind it?
Well, our message this year was I am the storm, and we just kind of basically took it that, adversity, is going to hit you in the face, and it doesn't matter what happens to you, that you are the storm. You can withstand anything. It's a little verse that we have that goes with it, and our kids have it on shirts and different stuff. But listen, life's full of adversity, and you're going to have it, and how you respond to it. And you're going to have adversity in football, and that's kind of what we talked about. You're going to have those storms on a daily basis, and I just want our kids to understand they can withstand anything.
Yeah. Well, congrats on the recent win, Coach. Hope you have many more ahead of you. Thanks you so much.
Brian. Appreciate you coming up.
Yep.